Not yet, mate.
Oh, we've already started, so. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Formula Fun podcast. And it's time for us to go over the British Grand Prix of 2019. I'm joined, as always, by Rage, Hardy, and Fox. How are you three this week?
Absolutely fabulous.
I'm absolutely fabulous.
Look, you can't just join in. You'll find out your own one, mate.
It's been going on for a while now. You should know it.
You know, once
I'm
things
fine.
become memes, they become public property, so.
That's true. That's the law. That's like 9/10 of the law.
Pretty much.
Memes are 9/10 of the law.
They basically are in today's society, unfortunately. Right, Silverstone. What a race. First 20 laps, I've not seen a race like that for a long, long time. It was fabulous, in the words of Rage. Absolutely fabulous. And some great racing. Do you guys enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was great until the end.
What?
What was wrong at the end?
When Hamilton won.
Okay.
Ouch.
I think he was always going to win that race, the way he started off, but we were robbed of what was a fantastic duel between Hamilton and Bottas because of the safety car. But I think we'll start with those two. It was, I think, for once, Bottas finally had his porridge, or found the right brand of porridge he had at the beginning of the year. It was robust defending. I had no idea he would be able to get back past Hamilton when Hamilton overtook him. It was brave from him. Does anyone want to say anything on this podcast, or are they just gonna sit there and do nothing? Yeah.
I like it that I don't have to say anything anymore. So last time it was all on me, so I'm taking a little back seat. I liked the race. Some cars went quickly. Some went round. Some quicker than others, and some not. Some is on fire. That's the mean, isn't it?
Sure.
Was there any fires?
No fires this time, I'm afraid.
No. Takuma Sato's car exploded.
Did it?
Did.
Is that anything to do with Formula One?
It
No.
absolutely is not.
Oh.
No.
Is it not? Oh dear.
Other than the former F1 driver, no. Nothing to do with F1.
No, he's not.
What?
What?
No.
I
Oh.
liked the. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was going to say I did enjoy the first 2 or 3 or 4 laps that the Mercs duelled. Like you say, it was a bit of a shame that the safety car kind of ruined Bottas's race a little bit.
Ruined a
But
lot of
fucking,
people's races.
he shut up a lot of people when he came back to him. Was it through cops?
I was going to start putting corner names in it, and then realised I couldn't remember any of them. The only two I know with certainty at Silverstone are Maggots and Beckett. So
Maggots and
it
Beckett.
wasn't that.
So yeah, it's the I think it's cops. This corner before Maggots and Beckett. It's the
Yeah.
quick right-hander. He came back at him on the inside and took the place, and then held the second or so gap that he needed to until roughly around the tyre change. And then unfortunately that safety car just ruined Bottas a little bit and kind of gave the win to Hamilton a little bit.
Yeah, I think Lewis was massively quicker, hence why he could just
Yeah.
hustle him from the word go. But yeah, he obviously got past the easy way and then just controlled the race from there. But it was great to see him go wheel to wheel, and it was nice to see two Mercedes or two front running cars actually being able to push and go at it for the first 5 or 6 laps rather than, oh, well, he's got the lead, we better wait till the pit stops now. Which is what we've seen races. And to be honest, that's credit to Hamilton for he clearly wanted that race.
Yeah.
He's had a
It's-
dry spell at Silverstone of 2 years.
Was it 2 years or was it 1
year.
year?
1 year.
That was 1 year, wasn't it? 17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was there.
Oh.
He's had a dry spell of a year.
Man, that is a dry spell for Lewis Hamilton.
True, but it did mean
But,
that then he made history and takes the
That's
6th
true.
most wins over now Prost and Clark, who were both on 5. So,
And I also think most wins at a home race.
I don't know
think it might
how
be
many
those,
Schumacher
right?
got in Germany.
I don't know. Was he really successful in Germany? I don't think he was.
He's pretty much successful everywhere.
Well, yeah, but not. I think the most impressive part of the weekend was the fact that Bottas went in for new. Was it new softs or did they have to do old softs? But I mean that might explain why. But yeah,
He had to put
he
he had to put some old softs on, and when he went
Old
in
softs.
for his first stop, he put softs on. That was the difference. Because he was already on softs, so it meant he had to make a second stop.
medium. I'm talking about the end. The softs, the red tire, the super softs.
Yeah, but
as-
his first stop, he put the mediums on, which was the tyre he was already on, which meant he had
Yes.
to stop again. That was his mistake.
Well, I'm not mentioning that, but the fact that Lewis Hamilton put in the fastest lap on old hards, and Bottas put on new soft. Was it new softs or was it used softs?
They were used.
But
Yeah.
at the end, they were used at the end. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't pushing because he didn't eat into their gap at all.
But
There's
the
no
fastest
point.
lap. I thought that was the reason why they pitted him was to try to get the fastest lap.
No, because they had to. That was why they pitted, because you can't run two at the same compound.
That's true.
So that was their mistake, is they went for the 2-stop very early on, rather than put him on the hards, which is what Hamilton did. So, yeah, it was.
Anyways,
It was over.
It was
by that
impressive. It was impressive. The fastest lap in old hards. That was pretty impressive.
point. Yeah, he's a speedy boy round there. It was impressive. It was a bit robbed of the race between them, but it was good to see them go wheel to wheel, and it added to the drama that was the first 20 laps.
Do you think he's gonna break all the records, Hamilton, before he retires?
Well, there's only one real big one left, isn't there?
Two.
What would be the second one?
There's podiums and then there's wins.
Okay, how far is he on
In
the podiums?
championships.
It's quite close.
Well, he's already. Oh yeah, there's 3 left, and there wins championships and podiums. So he's 11 off wins. Not sure about podiums.
Could he
It's not too
finish that
far
up
off
this year?
podiums. It's like 12 away or something stupid.
Okay. Almost.
If he wins
Fox.
every race, this year, then he will. He's 11 off of wins. He would tie, I guess.
Yeah, and that's not going to be his last win, is it? I don't think.
No. But he's not going to win every race. I hope he doesn't win every race the rest of the season. That would be the worst. I think the only way to save this season is if Max Verstappen really puts in a title run at the end. I don't know how far back is he at this point.
He's gone.
It's not mathematically possible, is it?
Yeah, it's absolutely mathematically possible. Still,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not.
likely.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 100 points back. So yeah, around that. So
Yeah,
no.
Red Bull would have to find. I've said this a few races ago. The only chance that anybody has is for one of those cars to completely leap Mercedes in terms of performance, and I just can't see that happening at this point. It would have to happen the next couple of races. I think it is pretty much. I saw a graph earlier in the week of the top 4 in the championship over the since 2014, and Hamilton's like 20-30 points ahead of what anybody's been since 2014 in terms of total points. So he's just dominating. So very little
Do you think
chance.
Mercedes will lose dominance before they just leave the sport, or do you think they're going to leave the sport on top?
2021, big chance. If they stay, I have to have trust in Ross Brawn and what they're doing for 2021. I just have to at this point. But that's the big opportunity, because it's going to be such a big rules change. But the question is, will Mercedes stay in the sport after 2021? They would have achieved everything they need to. It's costing
Could you-
them a huge amount of money each year.
I know how exciting the race was, but could you imagine if Mercedes wasn't even there? If it was a fight for the win between Red Bull and Ferrari, how exciting that would be? Well, until, Vettel, did terrible.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the difference, isn't it? Formula One throughout history has always had maximum of 2 teams, say, going for a championship in most cases, but it's having those 2 teams that are close. And at the moment, yeah, you would say if it was a championship between Ferrari and Red Bull, it would be one. We'd be going on about it being one of the best seasons of all time. But who's to say that Mercedes leave in 2021 and one of Red Bull or Ferrari get a dominant car again? You don't know, but we'll have to see. You never know, Formula One. Let's talk about that battle then, Red Bull and Ferrari, and Leclerc and Verstappen. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. The way those two were able to go wheel to wheel, corner after corner, and give each other such room, yet be so aggressive, was nothing short of outstanding. And made the race for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of, tension carried over from the last race too, which is, I mean, didn't Leclerc basically promise like, oh, that's how we're racing? That's basically what he said.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he really, he bullied him that last race, trying to get around him and defending against him.
Yeah,
I thought it was probably the one of the best fights that I've ever seen in F1.
No, I'd agree.
I think that fight between them throughout the whole race, I think it's probably the best fight. Or if you want ever want someone to get into F1 and you want to explain to them what F1's about, to show them Silverstone this year. That battle was just amazing. It's arguably two of the best drivers on the grid right now, just absolutely smashing it out over the whole race, pretty much. It was only, unfortunately, just slightly dampened by the little incident towards the end, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. But no, it was amazing. I think the move of the day was Max Verstappen round the outside of Leclerc off the track at the very end.
Yeah.
That was absolutely nuts. How he didn't get, I guess they must have left it because they couldn't exactly penalise him for fighting his position when he wasn't given any space left. It was pretty good.
I mean, they were both off the track. Leclerc was off the track as well.
I thought it was amazing.
Going. It was... I was lost for words, how they were still both on the track in one piece. And as you say, how Verstappen still managed to overtake him, despite being barged off the track.
I know. Just get his foot in.
Yeah. It's been known for a while these guys are coming through with the future of F1, and to be honest, just give them vaguely similar competitive cars and we're going to be in for 10 years of incredible racing. Because they're fearless. You've got to say they're quicker than almost anybody out there. The only person that could match them at the moment is Hamilton. I think he'd even be given a big run for their money with either of those two in the same car. But it's a new breed of just fearless driving, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But again, that was unfortunately dampened by the safety car, because obviously after their stop there was another incident. They were almost side by side out the pit lane, and then Verstappen made a mistake, let Leclerc get back past, and then the safety car, they obviously both decided to stop again and put them out of touch with each other.
Yeah, but Ferrari messed up again. Oh, we're not going to pitch you right now, Leclerc. Yeah.
We're going to pit you 2 laps into the safety car instead. Yeah, it was a bit of an idiot mistake, but...
Did you boys see this? I'll see if I can get a little video of it. It was really funny.
Go ahead.
One sec.
But yeah, to round that off, it was
There you go.
great racing.
Cheeky little after race meme.
Oh, I have seen this, yeah. How do we get this on? Oh, I forgot to change the image. There we go.
I only have to overtake
Daniel Ricciardo, claro.
it's because it's being cut off. Wait, I need to create a Facebook.
He got you. I only have to overtake like what?
Daniel Ricciardo, claro.
Perfect. He's a funny lad. He's got to keep smiling at this point, hasn't he, Ricardo?
Yeah, I have a talking point for McLaren, but let's finish up Red Bull and Ferrari real quick.
Yeah, so I guess the other story was the two teammates. Kind of a reprisal for Gasly in terms of pace. He still didn't do any better on the road, really.
He beat a Ferrari. So did the Williams.
Well, yeah, most people beat that with Ferrari, so it doesn't really count. But he was quicker, and he was there with them. He still didn't really make an impression on them, but he found some pace, I guess. Yeah, I don't think many of us care about Gasly, do we?
I think it was a good improvement, isn't it? I guess, you know. I don't think anyone really cares.
So that was it. It's a marked improvement, but until we actually see him make progress into the
the problem is he's just got no.
or Vettel, or actually racing one of the other guys.
I don't feel excited by Gasly like I do the others. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel that excitement that I get from one of the other boys racing, like Norris and Leclerc and Verstappen. So I never get like, oh, Gasly's in the mix. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those cases, isn't it, that he's not anything special. He showed it, or not anything special. That's the wrong way to put it. You never know until a driver goes into a top team whether they've got what it takes. He's looked like an exciting racer and a great racer in Toro Rosso, but he just hasn't made the step, has he? So.
Well, apparently Gasly was using Max's setup this weekend.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Using the same setup as Max.
He did a lot better.
Did a lot better.
So he
maybe he
basically
doesn't
just can't set
car.
up a car, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
And then Sebastian Vettel, then.
Oh dear.
Do you think he's going to get frustrated and retire?
I think he's already getting frustrated. If he's not, I'd hate to see him driving when he's frustrated. I reckon he's got to be looking at that option. I was thinking by 2021, but I think even this season he might, unless he finds some results before the end of the year or sorts it out and starts driving better. But it was just... There's no defence for this one. It was just plain stupid. Some of his spins and 50-50s you could... or wheel banging, you can kind of see a bit of being unlucky or a bit of it could have gone either way, but this was just plain stupid.
Now we've been talking about drivers and who could replace Gasly. We've never ever thought about if Vettel could replace Gasly.
Vettel?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, there was reports that some of Fernando Alonso's agents were speaking to Red Bull the end of last year, possibly beginning of this year as well. So even that could possibly happen. I mean, I don't know if it would, but it could be on the horizon.
There's definitely a lot of murmurings about Alonso looking somewhere, and McLaren, very sort of unprompted, made a statement or mentioned in an interview this week that they wouldn't stop Alonso if you wanted to go to another team. So there's something going on, but I don't know. Alonso is the only one that I think wouldn't mind going up against Verstappen. I think Vettel would. I couldn't see him going against.
What about that Santino Ferrucci? I'd want to the counter.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, he's a shoo-in for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What about Devin Butler?
You heard it here first to add one to the counter.
Devin, really?
Yeah, Devin would be great.
I mean,
I reckon we should put Jake Dennis in there, mate.
It's true. Start a fundraiser.
Jake Dennis, mate.
I mean, just to wrap up on that, we got any more comments about the Vettel incident, or is it really self-explanatory that it was just...
Yeah, I think he was mad at the time, but then he realized that he made the mistake and apologized. But Yeah.
I think a lot of commentators, at least on Peasant View, were saying that it's reminiscent of Schumacher's silly mistakes towards the end of his career. I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he is at that point yet. I think
No,
he's
but
just generally.
there are similarities there. I can see
But
that.
there is. I think it's just generally he does not get on with the car that they have. They just don't. They generally cannot set that car up. Like I said, I think I said this before. The development of a chassis doesn't always last for the period that they're using the car. They could keep the similar kind of chassis for at least a good couple of years and just develop on top of it. A lot of the lower teams, at least, will keep the same chassis and kind of work with it until they work the kinks out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. They may have found out that the particular chassis that they're using or the particular setup or avenue they've gone down, unfortunately, doesn't suit Vettel. I've heard that in the pipeline that it's a very oversteery car where it complements Leclerc's driving style, but doesn't so much Vettel's. So they're trying to dial a little bit of understeer out of the setup, but it also, unfortunately, makes it really, really oversteery, which doesn't give them any confidence whatsoever. And I did notice as well, earlier on, at the same kind of time where Perez took out the back of Hulkenberg, Vettel locked up his brakes going into that corner a good few times. So I think he's got a problem with his braking as well. So I don't think necessarily it's all Vettel can't race the car, it's all Vettel's fault. I think there is some little underlining issues in the car that they're trying to hide, at least. More so than just Vettel's crap.
It's a very strong possibility.
He's also, under contract for 2020 still, so it's not like he's looking for a deal from Ferrari right now.
A lot of it could just be mind games as well. If you're being repeatedly losing championships to Lewis Hamilton and you're constantly making the odd mistake, and then it's pressure of not making another mistake and you make one, it just builds up. And
I think
you're
there
not
is
sure
an
what to
element
do.
of that because I think he can drive around a issue with the car, but I would go along those lines. I think it's what we've seen in the past. He just does not like a strong driver alongside him.
Yeah.
Every season he's been good. Very early on, I guess he was still quite young though. But Webber didn't really push him the last couple of years. As soon as he got put against Ricciardo, he struggled. Back with Raikkonen, he was fine. Leclerc comes in, he's all over the place again.
So if we give him Pastor Maldonado, they win championships again.
You got it. Simple. And think of the merchandise money Ferrari would make from that.
I just don't think I just don't think he handles the inter-team battle as well as other people can. I think he just, people say, the pressure gets to him, the pressure gets to him. I think it gets to him in every sense of the battle. He is the master of politics. I'll give him that. Like he can sway the powers that be to make the time at his team better than others. But I think the mind games or the games that are put forward to him on maybe the timesheets in testing and, Leclerc's faster than you, 2/10 here, 2/10 there. I don't think he can deal with that.
No, I genuinely think that is a big part of it. But you're right. There could be things with the car as well. But whatever it is, he's not happy. And going back to the retirement thing, he is such a private and a family guy as well. I don't feel that he will feel to himself he needs to prove much more. He clearly isn't enjoying it at the moment. So we'll see. It's a very real possibility.
So who would replace him though?
If we're thinking
Dan Ricciardo. Saying it here, Dan Ricciardo.
So if there was a spot at Red Bull and Ferrari without the Mimi answers, who do we think will be those two replacements?
What, a spot at Red Bull?
For Gasly and a spot at Ferrari for Vettel.
Albon and Ricciardo. Albon to Red Bull, Ricciardo to Ferrari.
See, I really think that no one's ready for that Red Bull seat except for maybe Alonso and maybe Vettel. I don't think Vettel's ready to leave F1. It sounds like he might be ready to leave Ferrari. I really think that he could end up at Red Bull again, but I don't think he'll like Verstappen. That's it. That's the only issue with that move.
I don't think he. I think he'll retire, won't he, Vettel? He won't go anywhere else, will he?
Yeah, I can't see him going to Red Bull. I think there's too
I feel
many
like
factors.
he's not ready to leave though. I feel like he wants to race.
I don't think Red Bull want Vettel.
Yeah.
I really don't.
That's
Well,
I mean, yeah.
I also heard on the grapevine that Fernando Alonso got his agent to put his face out there for this year. Now he's split with McLaren
For this year.
But he hasn't
for next year.
Okay. If he can get in one of those top 3 teams, I could definitely see him wanting to do it.
As far as I'm aware, Fox, he's not related with McLaren anymore.
No, that was fake news, and he came out and laughed at it.
I want to see proof of this. I want proof. Show me the proof. You can't handle the proof.
I didn't see see it to the contrary, but I did see McLaren making a statement and saying they wouldn't block it, which suggests he is still in partnership with them. I think mostly for the Indy program, which I think they're definitely going to do again next year. I think Ricciardo's a good shout for Ferrari. I think that's a bit strong possibility. Red Bull's the trickier one. Alonso would be great.
There you go.
I could see Red Bull doing it. But I would agree, I don't know if Albon would be ready.
Well, you know, everyone said is Max ready, and look how well he performed.
But Albon's not been anywhere near as impressive as Max was for the Toro Rosso, I don't think.
I know, but do they need someone who's impressive, or they just need someone who can produce results?
Well, by that mantra, you would say give Gasly more time. if they've started finding a setup avenue. But I think Red Bull want 2 drivers that are going to be pushing for wins.
I think, to be fair, at the end of the day, they'll be keeping Gasly, whatever happens. They won't get rid of him now.
They'll keep him to the end of the season, I think. But I think
No, I think they'll keep him through to 2020 as well.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't see him going anywhere, to be honest. Unless something ridiculous happens, unless he, really starts underperforming, more so than what he has already. I think he's safe for now.
So this was a few months ago, sort of like silly season rumors that Vettel might retire, or if he retires, I should say, probably someone Ferrari would pick up would be like Bottas or Hulkenberg, Magnussen, or Perez. I feel like they would rather go with like Giovinazzi or something.
Oh God.
No, they really won't. Not yet. He's not ready.
I mean, he's not ready, but he's an Italian, and like he's been in their junior program for how long?
Yeah, but he's nowhere near.
Yeah, but so isn't Wehrlein in the Ferrari junior? He's not the junior program, but he's the test driver, is he not? I think I've seen him in a red shirt at some point.
Well,
so
his Formula E team has a red shirt.
Oh, maybe then.
Verline's still.
He's not. No, he cut ties with McLaren, with Mercedes, because
Yeah,
it wasn't going anywhere.
Okay.
Because they've got Russell in the hands, haven't they? On the card. Sorry.
Yeah, true.
I'm pretty sure he cut ties like at the end of the year.
As far as I'm aware, he's not affiliated with anybody.
Well, on the Ferrari website, Pascal Wehrlein they have him on there. I don't know. I guess he is a test driver.
Oh,
He's on there.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is a test driver. Then yeah.
okay.
That's a
Possibility, but you've got to question his time out. I would see them going for an experienced driver or someone that has been on the fringes for a while. Perez or Magnussen aren't bad calls. But I think Ricciardo would be their favourite. I think Ricciardo would be desperate for it as well.
Yeah, but are they willing to pay as much as Renault?
I think Ricciardo would take the pay cut at this point. I think he's seen that. I think give him an option between a Renault next year and a 20% chance that they can become competitive in 2021, or a Ferrari for both years. I think he would take a Ferrari. The only reason he went to Renault is because Mercedes and Ferrari didn't offer him anything, and he was fed up at Red Bull. So it's possible. It's not bad.
Okay.
Cool. But again, it's a lot dependent on Vettel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if he decides he wants, it won't be Ferrari. Ferrari won't push him out. People keep saying that he's on his way out or he's got to go. I don't think Ferrari would push him out. But it's whether he made
do
that
you think
decision.
that could Alonso even go back to Ferrari, or do they still not like him?
I think that would be very unlikely.
Yeah.
I can't see any of those top. If I was in any of those top 3 teams, I wouldn't want Alonso. I wouldn't. It would be too much trouble, I think. But
Yeah, and plus he wants to race the Indy 500 still, so I don't think he really wants to go back to Formula One yet.
I mean, if he can get in a winning car, he will absolutely. But I just don't. I don't know. We've seen stranger things. We'll see.
We'll see. I'm gonna go bold prediction of Vettel to Red Bull, and Bottas to Ferrari.
Okay,
All right,
that's very
that's
bold.
my bold prediction.
Yeah, I'm with Rage actually. I think Ricciardo to Ferrari is a strong possibility if Vettel goes. Red Bull. I feel they would stick to their program. I could see Gasly swapping with Albon potentially at the end of the year, but I don't know. There is, as Ray says, there is a possibility that they'll just keep Gasly, just concentrate on Max. It works quite well in the team because Max doesn't have to worry about the other side of the garage really.
That's true.
But we'll see. McLaren and Renault's pretty strong race from both of them. Ricciardo and Norris were caught out by the safety car, which allowed Sainz to really jump his way up the field and put in another incredible performance from 13th on the grid. We saw some great racing between Ricciardo and Norris as well early on.
Yeah.
Poor Norris got absolutely mugged, didn't he, really? Through the safety car period.
Didn't work with the safety car, he just stopped.
But then Sainz did very good through the safety car period too, so, swings and roundabout from McLaren.
Yeah,
it's all good.
swings and roundabouts for them. I think the most positive thing is that they still have the pace they've had the last few races.
Yes, it didn't disappear, did it? That was good to see.
No, them Renault, I can definitely
They're definitely
see
faster than Renault currently.
But it was a good race for Renault again.
Yes.
As they said, it was their setup issues the last few races, not a lack of speed in the car.
Did you hear?
No, go on.
Did you see the Hulkenberg thing at the end? His
Yes.
radio message. Yep.
No, I missed that. What was that?
Wasn't very happy at all.
Ooh,
No?
Yeah.
Well, this race got ruined by that incident with Perez, didn't it?
Well, they left him out on tyres for a long time. He wasn't very happy whatsoever with the decision.
Ah, okay.
Oof.
I
looked at the fantasy standings.
we'll get to them.
Hardy had to dip out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought he was being very quiet.
Yeah, I don't know why.
No.
So he just said he'd be back soon.
Okay, no
Okay.
worries. Yeah, it was a good race for those two. I think those two teams are pulling away from midfield, and I could see us having some great races between those four.
So
I think that trend has continued of Ricciardo being a bit stronger than Hulkenberg, but Sainz and Norris are neck and neck really.
yeah.
Which is
So
good, because Sainz was Fox. I'll let you speak in a minute. I think Sainz struggled a little bit against Norris, or was overshadowed a bit early on, but he's fighting back well. And obviously the news just before this race is that they're both confirmed for next year, which is, I think, a good move for McLaren to get that out of the way this early and just continue concentrating on the car, isn't it? Okay, you can talk.
Sorry.
What?
Say again. I thought you would say again.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously, just before this race, Norris and Sainz got confirmed
Yes.
next year, which I
Yeah.
think is the positive and the right way to go for McLaren, because it means they can just keep concentrating on this car without having to worry about drivers and the whole thing that goes around it. They've got two drivers there that could be in the sport for another 5 or 6 years, with the team if they wanted to, and still have time to go somewhere else afterwards. So,
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. That's why I wasn't hearing.
oh, I'm sorry. I'll move a bit closer to the mic.
I think that's brilliant for McLaren. Absolutely brilliant
Yeah.
for McLaren to have some two young
So-
guns.
So do you think that that Norris and Sainz are going? Like everyone loves Norris and Sainz, just like they're messing with each other and like they have fun together and like obviously it's videos or whatever. But your teammate's always your biggest rival, and like right now they're just fighting for best of the rest. And obviously Norris was fine with playing that team game in Monaco and stuff, and they seem to have a good relationship. Do you think whenever they're starting to fight for podiums that that's going to completely change?
It has to. It always does. It's never a question in Formula One. You can never remain close with your teammates when that starts happening. Because the two that come to mind with that are Verstappen and Ricciardo. They were always great on camera and they had good rapport between them. And even towards the end of their both being at Red Bull, they still had that, but you could tell things weren't right on the track. I think you've seen that from Sainz. I think there's been that determination with him to get back on par because he was being overshadowed by it. And it doesn't even have to be wins and podiums. I think you could see that turn very steely by the end of the season, because that's a big battle for both of those drivers. Sainz has had all the plaudits at Renault and Toro Rosso, but if he suddenly starts being beaten week in, week out by a rookie that's just come in, and his career is suddenly on the back burner, isn't it, in terms of the top team? So I don't see that. You see that on camera as well. Behind closed doors, it won't be like that. It never can be in Formula 1.
But like, what if? I mean, like, do you think that them like playing FIFA together all the time? Do you think that helps build their relationship?
Yeah, I mean, it's just whenever I see him on camera, it's a bit more force from Sainz. It's Lando's just that type of person. He just has a laugh no matter what. I think that's what shows from that relationship. But yeah, I would just say never ever make the mistake that they're friends, because they're not. You can.
And why is Formula One like that? Because it's not the same thing in IndyCar.
Who did you say aren't friends?
Sainz and Norris behind closed doors, they won't be all buddy like they are on the cameras.
Do you not think?
It can't be in Formula One. It's impossible.
Oh, I think they're pretty good friends. I think they're generally friendly.
Yeah, they're generally friendly, but that's what I mean. They're not like a buddy cop duo. As soon as they get into that garage and into the cars, the thing that they are 100% focusing on is beating the other person.
Yeah. But I think when they get out of the cars, it's all fun. I think it's all a joke, all fun and games. But
Yeah.
when they're in the car, yeah, it's serious.
But that's what Fox was saying. When it gets heated, do you think they'll continue being friends? No, they won't.
I don't think it
spill
will
over.
ever get heated. To be fair,
Well,
I think
it
it'll
can
be fine.
happen all too easily.
Oh yeah, we'll just look at the Pink Boys a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They had to tell Ocon and Perez to stop racing.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
think
I don't
Ocon
know
was
if we
just,
ever thought they were friends though.
I think Ocon was just a little bit harsh to get on with. I don't think a lot of people got on with Ocon, to be fair.
Yeah,
No, and Perez is
Well-
very similar.
Yeah, I think it's just clashing personalities. To be fair, I don't think I could ever get angry at Lando, like even if I was racing against him, because he's just a joke half the time. Like, he's so funny. I don't think I could. Yeah, I think it would be good fun to have him as a teammate. Sorry, I think it's probably one of the better teammates to have.
But yeah, that's what I mean behind closed doors, because
but
The
but
reason
why
that
is it
he'll
like
be-
that?
the
Do you think
reason
he'll be
that,
the type of teammate to do the mind games and not share any of his data, or
no, but I think that's from Sainz's side. I think the reason they look so buddy is because Lando is like that. He doesn't care. He is having a laugh all the time. He's in Formula One at 18 years old or whatever, and got a contract already for next season, so he's having the time of his life. But Sainz, I think you can see there's that little bit of, because he's very awkward in those interviews and stuff still, all those little videos.
yeah.
Comparison. I think.
Well,
that's
he's not
because-
used to being on the camera, though. I think more so.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. But I think it is that he's had to really buckle down to raise his game
beat
because
Norris, yeah.
Norris was blowing him away the first few races.
But
Yeah.
he's come back strong now, hasn't he, Science? He's doing good. He's doing well.
Oh, absolutely. He's a great driver.
He's
and
beating,
they both
isn't he?
are. Arguably, considering where he's qualifying as well. He's racing better than Norris at the moment. So, yeah, I think it's a great move from McLaren, and they've got a long. They just need to keep concentrating on that car, keep making the steps, and a rule change like 2021, they could very easily be back in it with the people they've got in that team. So we'll see. Alfa Romeo and Toro Rosso going in pairs. I think they're next to in performance at the moment. I'm not quite sure what happened with Toro Rosso. There was something between Albon and Kvyat that was going on, but
Apparently, Albon had a high voltage issue that's caused him to have some problems during the race.
okay. Because yeah, they switched around.
Yeah, he had some kind of mechanical / electrical issue.
Okay, so not his fault really. In which case, it was another strong showing from Kvyat. Raikkonen kept being Raikkonen. I still don't quite know how he's putting that racing point where he's putting it. Well, I do. He's going to be Raikkonen, but still, pretty good job from him.
Do you think he has a shot at the Ferrari seat if Vettel retires?
No, he's having the time of his life. He wouldn't want to go back to Ferrari, I don't think.
Oh my god!
He's
I
there
just
for
saw a
year
video
or
of
two.
Johnny Herbert crowd surfing at Silverstone.
Oh, that will be my second favourite Johnny Herbert clip of the weekend then.
Was your first favourite one him and Norris in the car?
It was.
It was very good, wasn't it?
Norris beaching the car and then Johnny Herbert digging it out. That was
Apparently, Lando and Albon shared a private jet home, and there was some funny Instagram and Twitter banter going on.
Yeah, they're good. They're good mates, those two. I'm sure there was. Which way round was it? One of them had the poster of the other one, didn't they?
Oh, Lando had the poster of
Albon.
Albon in his bedroom.
Yeah, still got it,
It was-
apparently.
It's obviously just such a meme that he found a picture of Albon and was like, let's go up on my wall.
Yeah, I'm not sure I buy that he was my idol type thing. In junior
No,
days. It was more
it's
a
a
meme.
Complete joke. That was great.
Yeah, they're both great talents.
How old is Alvin?
I think they're very similar in age.
19, I think. He's a couple years older.
No. Yeah, there's no way he's 19. 23.
Oh, even older then.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
know.
Albon?
Yeah, Albon's 23.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I watched a go-karting video of Albon, Russell, Norris, Herbert, and someone else. It was a Sky-related thing, and I think you're right. Albon is a little older.
Yes. Russell's 21.
Russell, though, he's gonna be damn spicy when he gets in a good car, and that's what I'm hyped for. I'm hyped for him to go forward. I hope that he gets put forward into that Mercedes.
I think
It's a possibility in the future. He's got to go to a midfield team first.
Do you think?
He's got to be. What the fuck is that? Some geese or something walking past my house. Because I think there will still be that question mark.
Where can he go though? Apart from Big Boys.
Well, that would be my guess.
But he's not going to go in Perez's thingy, is he?
No, I don't think so. Not unless Perez moves to Ferrari, which is a possibility.
But that's what I mean. It's not gonna happen because Stroll is pretty much God, isn't he, with his Racing Point buddies?
Well, yeah, and this is what worries me about Russell, because where can he go? And I can't see Mercedes putting him straight in there without seeing him in a midfield fight. 'Cause
Go.
He's not been able to do wheel-to-wheel stuff yet.
Well, look what's happened. He has. He'll go. Look what's happened to like some of the new boys. They get put straight into it. Look at Lewis Hamilton, 2007. We can't handle it. Like, it's been done before.
I think there's a bit of a talent gap between Russell and Hamilton.
Do you
at that
honestly
age.
think? Really?
I think so. Yeah.
I think you'll be quite pleasantly surprised. I don't think
What about Ocon though?
I think Ocon's more likely.
I think
they're gonna
Ocon
replace
is more
Bottas.
likely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think so. But I wouldn't rule out Russell if Bottas has another year.
But I can't.
Is Bottas gonna have another year?
I can't see him not. I
Yeah.
genuinely think
He has stepped up. He's had his porridge, mate.
He has, and they've got the perfect balance in that team, even when they're going wheel to wheel like they did at Silverstone. There's no bad blood between them. There's no incidents.
Blah, 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 between them.
Blah. There's no blah blah blah.
There's no blah, 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 blah between them.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, it's all fine, mate.
There's no Rosberg between them. I mean, what?
I don't know. I feel we're in a weird crossroads in Formula One. There's so much young talent in the sport right now.
I'm fucking happy. I love it.
Oh, I love it as well. But I think you've got to start fearing for the likes of. I think Raikkonen is on borrowed time, no matter how well he does, probably from himself.
I think
He
he's
doesn't wanna do more.
he's going to go pretty damn soon.
Grosjean is.
He's also going to go pretty damn soon.
Giovinazzi,
He doesn't have a
has much
contract yet.
future.
Yeah, I think that's a foregone conclusion. I think we'll. I don't. How long has Raikkonen got his contract?
It was, it was
next
2
year.
years, so yeah, one more.
He's got another year.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think I don't know what's happening with Giovinazzi's contract, but I think they'll probably keep him because he's probably getting some spicy money from Ferrari.
Yes.
It probably is. It's not the right decision.
Grosjean's definitely gone, isn't he? Really, Kubica's probably gone.
Yeah, I think those
Unfortunately,
100%.
Definitely those two. Who will take the places then? Who's going to move up to the Haas? So maybe fuck it, George Russell.
That's what I mean.
No.
You've got to start seeing these crosses between
Yeah, it can happen.
manufacturers because there is not the seats there on the Mercedes side anymore.
Yeah.
And all the young drivers that are looking for the seats are Mercedes drivers.
I don't think he would have to cut ties with Mercedes to do that, though, would he?
I don't know.
There might be some political thing there that stops them, but I think it's the only move for him because there's no way he's going to go to a Formula Force India Point Stroll Papa seat.
No, that's true. But then you've got.
Well, he's already contracted for Williams for next year.
Is he?
Russell. Yeah.
Yeah, but contracts mean very little in Formula One. That's the thing. If someone wants to move and they want to move, it will happen.
They get paid out.
Yeah. I don't know, but then I keep going back to Toto Wolff's promise that Ocon will be in Formula One next year, and you think, where is that going to be? Something's going to happen. We're going to see someone lose out next year.
I guess Kubica out, Ocon in.
Yeah, maybe. Again, it's not really a seat anybody wants at the moment. But if that's his way back into F1, that's his way back in, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't go to Formula E or IndyCar.
I don't think he wants to distance himself just yet because he wants to. He 100% wants to be in Formula One. He's at every race. He's next to Toto every race. He wants to make sure that happens still, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure a couple of races time we'll start talking about that seriously, about where people are going.
So, shall we talk about the black and gold ones then?
Yeah.
Nope.
Shall we?
Nope.
Shall we?
I mean, it was a pretty terrible weekend for them up until the start, and then the start was even worse.
Yeah.
Making contact with each other. I mean, who'd
I could
have
see
thought it? Grosjean and Magnussen having contact with each other.
Yeah, I could see Fittipaldi getting the Grosjean seat.
Maybe.
I mean, that's their test driver. Who else would get that seat?
I mean, there's a lot of people potentially. I think seats we'll start talking about again a bit later in the season. There's a lot to happen there, but yeah.
So what happened? I guess starting from practice, Grosjean sloppy mistake, leaving the garage. He said
they reverted to the beginning of the season package.
It did, yeah. But they said he said it was he was caught off by a gust of wind.
Oh yeah.
A gust of wind stalled
Ericsson back out
stalled the
there.
arrow. Yeah.
Ericsson, the Ericsson wind.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I can't wait for the next Netflix series, man. I hope that this is one of the weekends they were there. Yeah, he's just not doing himself any favors.
No.
It's
At least he has
a
points.
really difficult car to drive at the moment, though. You've got to say
Yeah.
that they're really.
He has
really
2
struggling.
points this year.
That's 2 more than he had at this point last season, I think.
No, he got a 4th in Austria. Remember?
Oh, it was one race earlier, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Force India were pretty poor again. Stroll was a lot better in the race. He's just not really not a qualifier at the moment, but he was better in the race. But again, they're teams that are just falling away from this. You've got Alfa Romeo doing a good job, Toro Rosso doing a good job, and McLaren and Renault doing a better job than the rest of them. So that's where they find themselves, those two teams. But it's not great for them.
Williams with a good showing though, 14th and 15th.
I think
Granted,
it's really circumstance, wasn't it? To be
It
honest.
was by proxy, yeah. I was going to have an update on the Williams pace. So no, they're still a second off. So they made about half a second progress over the season, but they're still a second off. Haven't made any progress since last race, so not really getting anywhere quickly.
No.
There was some nice 50 years of Frank Williams in F1.
There was some nice stuff going on with some Lewis Hamilton taking Frank round the track.
I haven't
and
watched that yet.
It's very good.
It looked it. I need to watch that.
do you think as soon as Frank Williams dies, do you think Williams dies with it?
No. No, unfortunately not.
I hope not. My bigger worry is that Williams are going to end before that happens.
They're gonna what?
That Williams is going to end before that happens. By
Yeah.
other means.
I don't think so. I think they'll keep it going. I think it will keep going.
There's only so long that they can keep doing it financially, whether they have the will to or not. If they don't get a big financial help or a buyout, if they don't get off the bottom of the grid, or at least mixing it with some other teams, then history shows they have no chance. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
But here's Williams. I think they will come to some kind of deal before they die. They'd be silly not to, have a partnership with Porsche. And I think all the benefits that brings, or a partnership with Toyota or something. There's so many things you can do. You don't have to just give up and bow out.
Oh, absolutely anything at this point.
Yeah, I think that kind of thing should definitely be open to them. And I think Frank could be fucking. Well, I say Frank, not like he's making decisions at the moment. I think Claire would be stupid to not want to do it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the. She's been great in that role, but that's one of the worst things I've heard her say is to be naive enough to say that they don't need a partnership because they're Williams. It's like some of their most successful times of the last 10, 15 years have been in a partnership with BMW.
Yeah.
She must realise that. It was a stupid thing to say. And yeah, they've got to realise soon that it's their only way.
It is at the moment. It's pride, and I think the thing is, Williams always used to be so good and so savvy with their commercial sponsorship and their commercial awareness within the world that Frank just dominated in, and he could sell anything to anyone. Like he would be able to get any kind of square inch of that car covered with some kind of sponsorship, and that kind of, I think that area has been lost. That little area of commercial savviness to be able to sell his product has gone, and obviously that's cost them in money that they can spend on the car. I think it's cost them in every area. I think they've also been mugged off by the engines as well. That Mercedes engines, I know it's very good in the Mercedes car, but I don't think it's as good as it's cracked up to be as such nowadays. It's still probably up there, but
Well, that's it, isn't it? They were caught out by that successful period, and I think they failed to see what was on the cards for it. They got so caught up with the fact that they were so competitive all of a sudden that they didn't plan for the eventuality of the engines equalising out,
Yeah.
and that's what's caught them. Yeah, it's.
I think it's
such-
everything with them. You know, it's the lack of money, it's the lack of sponsorship, it's the lack of, forward thinking, and future proofing the team, with manpower back in the in the factory, as well as drivers going forward. It's a fucking shit show at Williams at the moment, and I hope that they pull themselves out of it. And if you just look at McLaren a couple of years ago, they were in a very similar situation. Not as bad, but they're still pretty bad, and they've managed to turn things around. So it's not completely out of the realm of realistic. I think it still can be done, and they used to be such innovators of technology and ideas, and they used to find the gaps that no one else could find. So much so that the car would then be banned next year. But that kind of savviness to win has just completely gone. Whether it's the area that they're playing in now, there's just those gaps are so hard to find with the money that they're.
I think that's
forward.
it. The regulations just do not allow it at the moment. There are
Yeah.
no gaps you can find, and that's what the hope is for 2021, is that it will allow some creative thinking again, and they've just got to get back in a good place by then in terms of their structure and the way they work. I was watching Nico Rosberg's podcast with Claire Williams that he's just done, and they were talking about all the teams do. I think it's employee engagement surveys to show how engaged the employees are for working for that company. And she wouldn't say what it was, but there are some teams at the top that are getting 80% in terms of it, and she was shocked at that and said that theirs was worse than they could ever imagined. I think that's the problem. They've got everybody that's there is not engaging in the project they're working on because they're so disillusioned with what's going on. So even the right people might be there, but it's the way that the environment that they're working in that is the problem. And I think
Toxic.
they're starting to realise that, but whether they can change that, you don't know. But let's hope they can, because they're a one of a kind, Williams, and we need them in the sport, I think, especially in this country anyway. Right, I think that was the lot.
Yep.
It was a great race for the first 20 laps. Shame that safety car that I've been wanting for so long, in an actual middle of the race where it mattered, actually ruined it. So,
Yep.
yeah, I won't be wishing for safety cars in future. But it was just a very quick thing. It was a bit of a strange safety car as well. I don't think they had to throw it for a car stuck in the gravel. Did that really need to be a full safety car?
Yeah, it should have been a virtual. But I think because they had to release a digger onto the track because of obviously previous, they decided to throw the full.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Also, yeah, why couldn't he get back in the race?
I think he had a failure.
Yeah, he had either a failure or rear rear tyre blowout. The rear right
Yeah,
was
okay.
very dodgy. So it was
Okay.
something that actually threw him off the track rather than him just beaching it. I'm
Okay.
afraid.
But if they beach the car, can they not get pushed out and continue?
Well, no, it's
No.
failure, and they
Well,
can't be. Yeah, they can't be pushed by someone else.
Yeah,
Why?
it's against
That
the rules
seems
now.
stupid.
Against the regs.
They should get rid of that.
Well, no, 'cause
Why?
it takes the peril away from the gravel. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of people kept getting pushed out when they essentially beached it in the gravel when it was wet or something, and it was not really very sporting. I think a lot of it came from the Senna Prost incident in the 80s.
I don't know.
Of him being started again. And Schumacher basically did it every time he put it in the gravel, and I think they were like, right, we've got to stop this now. Because everyone, all the marshals love Schumacher so much, they're like, yeah, let's get everybody from everywhere to push him out and get him back in the race. Okay, I think there's only one contender this week, but we'll go over to it anyway. It's time for...
Crash of the week, you motherfucking bastards!
Is it the one that I'm thinking of this week?
I think it could only be one crash. Really. And that's the crash in practice. No, it wasn't. It was it's Vettel and Verstappen.
Yeah.
Not Galil and Delatraz.
No.
I think
For God's sake,
Galil
moving on.
decided to withdraw because he hated the stewards.
Good to know.
No, it's not.
I'm afraid I didn't watch any Formula 2 this weekend, so I don't know. Well, yeah, it was a spectacular crash. Max Verstappen was airborne. There's some nice shots of that, including the one that's thumbnail for this episode. So
I'm surprised that they were able to keep both cars going.
I know.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I mean, Vettel was questionable whether he kept going. Fell to the back of the field and had no pace whatsoever. But Max, yeah, robust. They build him robust at that in Milton Keynes.
They build them robust in Milton Keynes. Did you see the damage on the rear diffuser?
No.
Barely anything, mate.
Oh. Vettel's getting better at crashing into people then.
Yeah.
No, you can't give him a penalty. I didn't damage him.
He got 10 seconds.
I
Is
don't
that the
know.
harshest penalty? I guess it wasn't a stop and go. So
No, there was arguments again about that penalty system. Because obviously it hurt Max's race a lot more, but then that's that whole thing again of getting into the proportional penalties, which you can't really apply because then they can never be consistent. Anyway. Right. Is there any news apart from Norris and Verstappen? Norris and Sainz, sorry. That would be even bigger news, wouldn't it? Verstappen to McLaren.
just record-breaking pit stop
There was.
by Red Bull. That's about it.
Which was a time of Fox.
1.91 seconds.
Speedy boys.
Yep, 0.21 seconds slower than their own
Anus.
fastest pit stop.
Anus after a curry. There was the what's it called? The Valkyrie getting its first run at Silverstone.
Oh yeah, I saw that as well.
Absolutely F1 related, but Newey's little baby that he's been working on. That's going to be getting a Le Mans run, I
Valkyrie?
think, with the new hypercar rules.
Do you
That's gonna
think
be
it will,
great,
though?
Isn't it? I think they've already confirmed they're doing it. Yeah,
Valkyrie?
that's going to be great, isn't it? Seeing Aston Martin back at the front of Le Mans.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about the new hypercar rules.
Are they
Looks
going to
good.
be GT or Le Mans? What's
No, it's just
GT
new
Le Mans?
new class, hypercar
Whole new
class.
class.
Oh, hello, Addy.
You class, mate.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to,
It's
I had
the
to go
old,
for a family emergency, but it's all sorted now.
the hyper.
Okay,
Interesting.
No worries, man. Yeah, hypercar class. So it's they're going to be a step down from LMP1s to be a bit cheaper and open it up to other manufacturers because obviously there's only one real manufacturer left in it now with Toyota, which is a bit unfair.
Hyper anus class.
Hyper anus class. So I think we've got Aston Martin, Toyota, and
Anus.
the Anus team from Anusville. Right.
And the Formula Fun race team, yeah. No.
And Jacob's kids on the regular.
Okay.
Cool.
Talking of that, shall we go into the fantasy?
Yeah, I was just checking. I haven't missed any news, which I don't think.
It's all fine, mate. It's no news, man. It's all fine.
There is not. Right, fantasy. Let's get that up on screen. Right, Grant still leads the way on 1,599 points. Winning team this week, 211 points for him. Rob is still just over 100 points away in second, scoring just 193. Then Rage is up to third,
Hey,
flying up the table.
hey, 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 hey.
177 points this week. Again, mostly because of Hamilton and Mercedes.
Hey, hey, hey.
He's got you 130 of those 177 points. It's a choke. So
I hate this game.
So predictable, this fantasy championship. Needs to change
Really
the rules
is.
next year.
Can we actually edit rules?
No,
That'd be so cool.
that would be quite cool. Yeah. Bart down to fourth. Only 10 points between Rage and him though. Fox is actually up to fifth now, 170 points. has moved ahead of Hardy in 6th. Still a good week for you, Hardy. 178
fair
points. Again, mostly because of Hamilton and Mercedes.
Yeah, buddy.
Hammeister is moved ahead of me with 127 points. So I am now absolutely last. I got...
Oh.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
I got 48 points this week.
Oh.
Ooh.
Turbo Grosjean? Why do you have both Haas
Because
cars?
I haven't changed it since that race where they looked like we were going to do really well. So now I've got the last 2 weeks.
What?
Like,
You haven't changed it since Australia?
no, the weekend I can't remember which week it was.
Australia.
Australia?
Australia.
When did it? Shut up. Game week 4, game week 5, I changed it. So what was race 5? Spain?
Australia.
Yeah,
Australia.
All right, I get the meme. Carry on.
Okay.
Moving on to memes then. Go on.
Memes.
Yeah.
Memes. Memes.
Did we not stall enough?
Is that your new theme tune?
Oh, just me going.
It's going to need some work.
Memes. 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 1 sec.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that's already a
I've got all
song.
them ready. I've got them all ready. It's
Okay,
just,
while you're getting ready...
No, I've got them ready.
Well, while you're taking the 30 seconds to a minute that you normally take, I'll go back
I've
to
got them
something
ready
you
there.
mentioned earlier on.
I've got them ready now. They're ready.
All right, well, I'll just do this very quickly then.
But I've got them ready. It's fine.
So we were talking earlier about Hamilton's 6 wins, whether it's the most at a home circuit.
Yes.
So I've got Schumacher's results up in front of me. So he has
I'm ready.
1, 2... Oh, still only 2. This might be not great. 3,
The sudden realization: Schumacher isn't all he cracked up to be.
4,
No,
5.
it's all fine.
Oh, this might be close. 6. Did you get one more? Yes, 7.
7 at home?
7, 8. He had 8 German F1 victories.
8?
8.
But it is kind of a bit skewed because they had 2 races there for a long time.
8.
So a lot of them were actually the European Grand Prix. But anyway, he's won 8, so if that's the actual record. Right, go on then, Rage.
All right. 1 sec.
It's time for everybody's favourite part of the podcast.
I have got Hardy's actually. 1 sec. Let's download that. 1 second. We'll do Hardy's first. There's quite a few memes this weekend, as expected. So let's do. Hardy likes to chuck in a meme these days. So first one. I haven't got the backing this time, so it's just the straight meme. Forge.
It's alright, mate. It's decent.
It's pretty good, isn't it? Pretty spicy.
Thought Jay would like it.
Pretty spicy.
Yeah, you know me. I love a good World War II meme. My favourites. Give it a decent 7, that one.
7 bois.
7 was. Decent meme.
I'll give it 8 plus because it's not from a competitor finally.
Hardy.
8 bars.
8.
Kid made me chuckle quite well.
Yeah. I mean, they could have done a bit better of making it fit with the Wikipedia page, but you know, maybe made it black and white. Would have gone-
I didn't make the meme. I just found it. So.
No, I know. I was criticized.
Yeah.
We're straight to a competitor. Okay.
Always a competitor with Rage.
Oh, this is very. I can't quite get this in frame. There we go. Decent me. His hair makes me laugh sometimes, Hamilton. Like for someone that's all about his style, he just looks like an idiot sometimes. But I guess that
Yeah,
was
his
probably
hair was best feature.
no. I guess that was probably the point of him taking that picture. 7 for me, decent.
Oh shit, I was muted. I was going to say this came out last week about him. He for whatever reason, he decided he was going to post like the true version of him on Twitter, so people could stop worrying about having to filter themselves to make themselves feel pretty. In other words, it was him with like crazy hair, and he'd just woken up. He was like, "This is the real me."
Okay.
And it's like,
Yeah, I'll give it 7 balls.
so it's 2 7s.
I mean, he's
Okay.
trying to be relatable, make him seem like a common person. So
Yeah, and not an alien from Area 51.
Instantly down to 2 from me.
I would actually
I
change
was-
this
I
and
was
put
gonna.
your best mate, and then the second one I'll put the alien who just burst out from Area 51. That would be more relevant for me, and I'll probably get a higher score.
Tied in all the memes.
Yeah, I don't really care about this meme at all. I'm gonna give it a 1. -1 for being a
1?
competitor. An all low 0 from me.
Wow. That's
think
almost as
Rage-
bad as the 8 rating for the terrible meme. Got Rage incredibly insane.
Well, I think Rage is raging because he muted his mic.
Oh. He could be doing anything at this point. This is what he's. Oh, I've just got Discord up.
Fuck's sake!
What,
He gave one a 9 the other week, and I went mad. It wasn't a fucking 8, it was a 9.
What was the
Not
name? I
any of
can't
it.
remember.
Did anyone miss this? There's a video, and it's fucking hilarious, and I couldn't post it in the Discord.
All right. Well, I can't see it.
No, it's
Post-
fine. I couldn't get the video to post it. It had some really funny music on it, and it was him being pushed off.
So you thought
Anyway.
you'd mute yourself and then have a go at us for not hearing what you said when you were muted.
No, it was ages ago. It's all right. So
Okay.
this is the funny meme that's going about at the moment. Cheeky little meme. So did you? He
Had
got
to
you
get
stopped on
himself an
track.
ice cream.
He stopped on track and then had everyone push him over to the side for whatever reason. Decided to jump in the car and steer.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Did you see this?
That's funny.
Yeah, there was some good memes coming out from this one.
Yep. Decent meme.
What-
It involves
what
Kimmy
we
and
saying?
some ice creams. I'll give
What
it
we
an
saying?
8. Give that an 8.
And
An 8.
I'll
Oh.
give it a 9, so -1, so it's an 8.
The scoring system.
I feel like Rage is talking behind our backs. On
I
stream.
don't know why he keeps muting his mic. Then he has
Rage
a go
is
at...
I don't mean to. Fuck's
What are you
sake!
doing? We just
What are
hear,
you-
we just
you
hear
don't mean
mad
to
keyboard
mute it?
typing and then you mute
No
yourself.
idea why. I don't mean to.
You got
You
it
have to
to a
click the
hotkey or
button.
something.
Yeah, it's on a hotkey. It must be something to do with the copy and pasting that I'm doing.
Oh, I saw so many of these.
There were lots, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Lots of Ericsson related ones.
Now, I'm going to give this not the best score.
Why?
Probably about 6 because they could have chose much better pictures of the car and then the rich energy front wing like halfway down the pit lane. So
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I'm going to give it a 5.
bad imagery.
Yeah.
Bad meme selection. So
I'm
what are
gonna
you
give
giving it,
this
Jay?
one a 10.
Give
No,
it a 5.
just,
Give it a 5. That one. Just because
5.
the meme itself is strong, just bad at
just muted him.
execution.
You muted yourself again.
Get ready for rage in 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna give it a 5, -1, so 4.
Okay.
Hardy?
Let's just
I'll just take a 5.
key bindings.
Okay,
Not
I'll
great.
give it 6. I noticed because I'm keeping a score and I'm putting dashes in between, and that's my mute mic.
Oh, we're actually
Oh.
scoring this now.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's quite a few this week. I've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go. There's a lot of memes this week.
Please tell me you've been scoring them throughout the season.
Yeah.
Oh, 6. So we
Oh,
can have
nice.
like a best memes hits at the end of the season.
Yeah, cool,
Oh.
course I have. Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. I totally believe you.
Just this week. We started this week. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Classic merge of the meme.
Classic meme merger.
It's not one that ruffles you.
I mean,
It doesn't
doesn't make
inspire
me
much.
It doesn't make me remotely laugh or really feel much at all. But
Okay.
I'm
Jamie,
gonna
what are you
give-
giving it?
Oh.
Sorry, Fox. Fox, what are you gonna give it, mate?
I was gonna give it a 0, and it's a -1, so -1. First negatives.
okay, I mean, I'll give it a 5. It's all right.
Jesus. All right, what are we doing? What are we
Well,
doing
I,
now?
I'd give it 8, but because it's competitive, I've got to take one off. It's
No, we can't all do. This is just
Stop using competitor memes. It's simple.
just cover it up at least.
Yeah, cut the bottom off. We wouldn't have missed the mouth.
Put the Formula Fun logo on it and claim it as your own.
It's hard to
Well,
do.
that might be.
We have a
all right.
logo? Oh, I guess it's just 2 F's. Got it.
That
Next
took
one.
me hours. I'll have you know.
Really?
Next meme.
No, I literally made that entire thing in like a minute.
Okay, I like that one. I'm gonna give that a 9.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's a. I'll give that a 10. I'll go the other way.
What is it?
I would give it
from?
10, but it's not, Formula Fun meme. It's another one.
Yeah,
different
I
logo.
don't even know who
who is that logo? Yeah.
Is that
No,
our
where'd
new
you get
logo?
this?
It's ours, boys. It's ours.
If it's all, I'll give it 10.
What are we doing?
I'll
Who we
give it
saying?
a 10 for me.
10.
9 for me.
Yeah, I like that.
9.
Yeah, 9 for me.
9. I'll give it an 8. I think we got a meme of the week right there.
Potentially,
10 on the
depends if
board.
you got any more.
We got some smashers, mate.
Oh, they're genuinely going to be worse than this one, aren't they? Knowing you. Oh, yep. I mean, this wasn't even a meme. This was like they got Crazy Man back on Twitter.
It's just sad.
It's so sad.
The heck? Is this an actual tweet?
Yep.
Yep.
What?
They tweeted
What does
it
it even
mean?
The milk float.
What? What does that mean?
So their car's shit.
Yeah. Saying they're basically milk floats.
What's a milk float?
Oh,
It's-
this is an English thing.
It's an electric vehicle that carries milk bottles about.
You
That's
have
really
electric
slow.
vehicles to carry milk bottles about? What?
Yeah.
Yep. They deliver them to people's houses every morning.
Well, down
What?
south.
Yeah. So
You get
you
your
have to.
milk delivered?
You signed, mate. Back in the day, a man used to walk around and used to have a bike and he'd deliver it to houses.
Here's
But now
milk.
they've got floats, and you sign up to the subscription and you get like bottles of milk delivered to your house in the morning, and you just open your door and your milk's there.
They do
And then
all
once you're
sorts
done,
now, mate. They've really
You put your
diversified.
milk bottles back in and you put them at your front door. So the milk man comes along, picks up the empty bottles and puts the new ones down.
How much you
Fresh
pay
milk
for this?
every day.
And occasionally you get great memes on Twitter about it, where the milkman's actually accidentally delivered like 50
How much
bottles
does
of
that
milk.
cost?
Have you never heard of this before?
No.
It's I don't know, it's like a couple of quid a day.
Yeah.
What?
Get your milk
Have you never
fresh
heard of
every day.
Have you not heard of the memes where lonely housewives get woken up by the milkman? Oh, Sunday smoke's upstairs. That's where your brother's from.
No, it's
No.
When you
I've
say,
never
"Oh,"
heard this.
when someone says like 15 years ago and the person's 14, you're like, when you were just a glint in the milkman's eye.
Never heard this ever.
It's like the postman, but instead of delivering letters, he delivers moo juice.
What?
What? Yeah.
I'm gonna give this meme a 0 because I don't understand it.
Okay, all right. I actually posted the next meme by mistake, but there's a 0.
I'll give it a decent 8.
An 8, Hardy.
Which the milk float one?
Yeah.
I'll give it an 8.
I'll give it a 7. I thought it was all right.
It's a bit It's a bit.
I'm gonna give it one more because it came from House. I mean, Rich directly.
See, I gave it one less because of that, because it's like it shouldn't be happening. Digging themselves. I don't feel I should validate them at this point. They're such idiots.
That's why I gave it a 0. I totally understood it. That's the only reason why I gave it a 0.
Okay, you definitely know about milk floats. It's fine.
Nope.
And this one was during the race.
Yeah, it's alright.
Bit boring.
Bit boring. 6 minus 1 for competitor, so 5.
Right. I'll give it
I
a
Yeah.
like
5.
this. I
I'm
like
gonna
this
give it a
game.
4.
I was gonna give it a 7 minus 2 for being a competitor. minus 1 so 6.
I would give it a 5 because competitors it's a 4.
I see.
So,
I like the
was that-
game, so
Okay.
I was going 7.
This is the last meme. I told you I had bumper memes this time. This one's for me. I like this one.
Rage's bumper meme edition.
Bonus meme.
What?
Nando's keyboard be like.
Yeah.
He's the Milky
Pretty
Bar
much.
kid.
What?
There's an
Have
even
you not
better one
heard
of that.
this?
Have you seen
Oh,
McLaren's
God,
race?
don't-
You see McLaren's race day picture from this week?
No.
No?
They had the table in the buffet, and they had
Yeah.
all the bottles of milk, like almond milk, lactose intolerant, whatever, different types of milk, and then one at the back with a little orange label around it saying Lando's milk.
Yes. It's a thing going around on his Twitter and on the Lando logs and stuff like that he's just always drinking milk. It's just a milk meme.
Yeah, he just
And people were just like commenting on all of his Twitter posts saying a glass of milk keeps the doctor away and all of this random milk related things.
I'm
yeah.
gonna give this another 0, so it's another -1.
What?
I'd give that an 8.
Oh, that's a top,
I don't
that's
get
a
it.
top quality meme. That's a 10. -1 because it's competitor.
Well, I would give that a 1 because competitors and giving it a 0.
Why?
Oh.
I just don't like it. I just think it's a really shit meme.
Wow. Well, decision split.
The whole keyboard's
Okay.
milk glasses. What don't you get?
It's not that I don't get it. I just like, nah.
we have a clear
I like
meme of the week.
I like really visual memes, not just milk.
We've got
Okay.
it's the
It's too
Toro
plain.
Rosso born meme one this week easily.
Mm.
Easily.
Yes, that
Run away
was
with
decent meme.
And that's it. That's the end of meme of the week, mate.
Lovely. I'll keep that up on screen as we finish off. Great.
Do we have
meme.
to like hire a meme guy so we can get non-competitor memes?
I
Well,
just
no,
feel
because- but memes come from all over, so it's not competitor. It's just another source.
Well, you can send it to me and I'll blur it out for you, the logo.
We need to start producing Formula Fun memes.
To be fair, do WTF1 actually create the memes, or are they just putting their logo on other people's?
I think they just
No,
put
they're
their
just putting
logo.
the
on.
logo.
Well then,
Oh really?
what's it?
I
Bastards.
don't care.
They steal memes professionally.
Professional.
We already have
meme
a
stealing.
fun meme anyway. It's Rage's fantasy team. We know his name.
No, I don't
It's a great meme.
Right, moving on.
Predictions.
Yeah, predictions for that race that we're going next.
Germany.
Wait, what's the current leaderboard of predictions? How
Oh.
close is it?
So, what order do we want to go in?
Last
Oh,
to first.
second, third, first, fourth.
All right.
no,
So
even
in second
first-
place. what? All right. So, in last place with 9 points, it's me. Terrible at this. In third place with 10 points, not much better than me, is Rage. In second place with 14.5 points is Hardy.
Oh,
And
Okay,
in
you
first
bastard.
place with 15.5 points is Jay.
Okay. I feel I need to get like a point or two ahead because didn't you miss the first round, Hardy?
yep, I didn't do the first one.
Yeah, so I reckon I need to get a clear 2-point advantage to win that morally. And obviously you and Rage are completely out of it. So, predictions for Germany. I'm gonna go Leclerc, Hamilton, Bottas.
Vettel.
Down Leclerc.
Oh,
You're only allowed to
What is
pick
it?
one, apparently. Oh,
Yeah, what was
Leclerc,
it?
Hamilton, Bottas.
Hamilton. Okay. Here, let's go. So let's go first to last, so that they have so people have an advantage. So Hardy, you're up next.
No surprise, of course, Hamilton for the win, as always.
I mean, you've already locked that in. So
Yeah. Second, I'm going to say Verstappen. And then third, I'm going to say Bottas.
okay.
Decent.
is it my go?
Yep.
Vettel. Leclerc. Hamilton.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say Leclerc, Vettel,
Kubica?
Hamilton. No, I'm not that crazy.
Just taking it
Down.
seriously now.
Yeah, I did put Perez in once, and I did put Gasly for 2 wins so far.
and you're still ahead of Rage.
No, I'm right behind him.
Oh,
I'm only
yeah,
back.
Literally.
I'm only behind 1 point.
1 point.
Right.
Okay. Well, that has been this podcast then. Thank you four for watching. For joining. Words.
Yep.
It's been great as always.
It's been absolutely fabulous.
I'm happy that we could still have a
Sure.
podcast this week after you did it last week, so you can't do on that bad a job.
Last week, 2 weeks ago. Was it last week?
Oh, do you know what I mean? Don't be pedantic. Yeah.
Was it?
Thank you guys for.
Might have been last week.
It
Anyways,
was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the Good Rib was last week.
Oh,
2
okay.
weeks ago. Happy? Good.
Yeah. Also, my last podcast.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
because of time zone issues.
that's a shame, man. I'm sure we can get you on at some
Damn.
point.
I mean, if you guys want to stay up to like midnight, then yeah,
I know next week we're getting Ferrucci in as well. You don't want to miss that.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, you'll have to quit your job as soon as you started it, because Ferrucci's confirmed.
that's fair.
2 to the counter.
We've got Ferrucci and the whole Haas team coming as well.
Well, I don't want to talk to Haas team right now.
Yeah, it's alright. They'll crash and run out of tyres on the way here. So
Yeah, they won't get it, don't worry.
Yeah, no chance. Right, thank you everybody for listening. As always, thank you for joining me. We will join you in 2 weeks' time. Is it 2 weeks or are these back to back?
I think it's a week.
They are back to back, aren't they? Yeah. So next
I
week.
think they are, yeah.
Boosterbash.
For Germany,
Yeah.
it's a great time.
We should have a good time at the German Grand Prix, yeah.
What the
Hans
hell?
is looking forward to it.
Before we have any more casual races. Thank you, and we'll see you again next time.